And welcome to a special episode of the Mike Prince Show. We are fortunate to have on the line with us right now the voice of the Jackson State University Tigers, and that is none other than Brother Rob J. How you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thank you for calling Nasty, man. I appreciate it.
Well, no problem. Look, let me first say I am honored and blessed to have a man of your caliber with the work that you've done for our beloved conference to be on the line with us, man. And I really, really appreciate you taking our time for us today.
Oh, Mike, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
No problem. Well, look, it's no hidden a feat of what has happened here of recent. JSU Nation in an uproar. First and foremost, what is your take on everything that has happened of recent, sir?
First of all, congratulations to him for, winning the SWAC and everything he's done at Jackson State. I think what everybody is upset about, Mike, is the way it all happened on Saturday, how he walked away from the stage during this trophy presentation. He didn't show up for the press conference after the game. I think that's one of the reasons. Now, I tell you that's my reason. I was a little upset about that. But the JSU fans kind of saw that as he just poo-pooed the SWAC, and he had a flight to catch. But other than that, man, he's done wonderful things at Jackson State in a short time there.
No doubt about it. Before we go a little bit further, I did a piece, Rob, and I don't know if you'll agree or disagree with this, but I've heard people talking about, man, he's a sellout this and sellout that. And when you break this thing down, Dion was just being Dion. I mean, he has been that way as a student athlete, as a professional athlete, as an analyst, and now as a coach. So why do you expect anything different? And my flip on this, if anyone has sold out, no disrespect intended, it may have been JSU thinking that he was going to make you feel secure with him being there.
Yeah, Mike, I think you hit that right on the head, man. We're not saying we. I'm talking about the administration and I guess the really the people around Jackson State knew he wasn't going to be there long. I'll say that. We knew him coming in. He was going. I thought maybe he'd be there 3 years. This would have been his third year, I think. So I thought he'd be there 3 years and leave. But the JSU fans, I tell you why they're so mad, because Jackson State football was down so long, and he came in and he turned it around so quick, and they got used to it. They got so used to it, and they were not ready to let it go. They were not ready to let it go because Jackson State's going to fall back now. I mean, they're not going to – all this winning is going to come to an end unless they get a coach in there who can, follow right his footsteps, get more, players in there, because some of the players are leaving. Some of these players are decommitting. But Jackson State used him as much as he used Jackson State.
Yes, sir. Yes, I think that's a very fair statement to say, but people have a tendency to look at it from whatever angle they choose to. And in the case of JSU, they're fans. And there's another thing that I assess, and not that I'm the smartest guy in the room, Brother Rob, but just from outside looking in and just paying attention. For Deion Sanders, the SWAC was an opportunity. But for JSU fans, the SWAC is a lifestyle. So there are two different approaches and expectations from both sides.
Man, you hit that, man. That's exactly right. The JSU fans, they're not going anywhere. They live, breathe, eat Jackson State athletics, sports, whatever is, happening at Jackson State. They're not leaving. They're not going anywhere. But his goal, they say, he used Jackson State as a stepping stone. Yes, he did. He used JSU as a stepping stone. But like they say, man, you know what you're getting when he got there. You know he wasn't going to be there as long as W.C. Gordon. He wasn't going to be there as long as Eddie Robinson. No, he's not. He got what he needed. He got his coach. He got his coaching experience there. He won 2 championships. So he's ready to jet. But like I said, Mike, what I did not like was the way he left. I didn't like the way he left Saturday. The commissioner was on the stage, and let me say this: the SWAC did a wonderful job of getting that stage together. You hear, oh, the SWAC took too long. No, they didn't. They, for what the SWAC is working with, they did a wonderful job of putting that stage together in a really quickly. His mind was on getting on that plane going to Colorado. So that was my issue with it. But other than that, man, he did great.
Yes, sir. Now, with all that being said, we've gotten through, I'm going to say, the emotional part behind that JSU can maintain, and what's going to be the challenge of maintaining it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if they can, if they can maintain it now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this Celebration Bowl, whether he'll coach or not. Now, he said he'll coach, but I don't know if the administration would, let him coach. Because he's gone. I mean, he's the Colorado head coach now. So Mike, it's a tricky question. But can they maintain? Can Jackson State maintain after he leaves? I just don't know. I would like to think so, but I just don't know.
Well, maybe they could maintain, but not as high caliber as the maintenance was, because you set the standard, if you would, of the bar, and you got to kind of measure. Now, here's my assessment, and I hope this doesn't sound like a hater, because I'm SWAC inside out, and no pun intended, but I am SWAC. I grew up and graduated in the SWAC. So when you have the magnifying personality of a Deion Sanders, and he's able to cherry pick guys from an FBS level to come and play on an FCS level, shouldn't you expect dominance?
Oh, absolutely. But what I think, especially in the SWAC, like you said, we're SWAC through and through, and other SWAC schools didn't have the talent. I'll say the talent that he brought in. Now, the talent that he brings in at Colorado, these other schools got that same talent. So it's
right.
What happens with him. But, it was expected. And like I said, Mike, it wasn't really the same JSU that I grew up to know. I mean, you had all of these these players from all of these big schools and these transfers. And so you just knew that Jackson State would win with these guys. But I tell you what, the credit to the SWAC, you had these schools started to learn Jackson State. You have some really good coaches in the SWAC. All competitive. Southern made it. If Southern had started McDaniel, quarterback, that game would have been nothing. I don't know why Dooley didn't start this guy. I have no idea. But these teams started to figure Jackson State out, and I'll say that, and I'll leave that alone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, take it and run, right? Take it and run. Enjoy it while you can. Well, it brought back some excitement. And the thing that I took, I guess, a personal challenge on, Deion Sanders, as magnetic as he is as an individual and his personality, he did not rescue the SWAC. He did not rescue the SWAC. The SWAC was doing well, and he did create some awareness that people like you and I, they probably say, they just bellyaching, grumpy old men, get off my lawn. But with him being the person that he was and the new set of eyes on the challenges that we've learned to adjust with, he brought some awareness on that. But he didn't stay to see them come all the way through. And I do see why some JSU and some SWAC fans are a bit disappointed right now.
Oh yeah, he did not create the SWAC. He certainly didn't. A lot of people think he created the SWAC, and we know, Mike, from years ago, man, the SWAC was on and popping. I mean, the stadiums were filled everywhere. I mean, at every school. And another thing that he would say that I didn't agree with, he was like, "We've never filled it up like this." Oh no, it was filled up. That stadium was filled up before you got there. And then he said that Jackson State never had names on the back of their jersey. Oh yes, they did. They did.
Right.
So No, what he did was he put more eyes on the SWAC than people, that didn't really know what the SWAC was. But everybody here in the SWAC really, it was nothing new to us. But he just opened eyes to it, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's I said, you give credit to where credit is due. But as Paul Harvey used to say, let's know the rest of the story, right? So now that we're at this crossroad, Jackson has some decisions to make, and for that much, the conference has some decisions to make. What do you see the future of JSU football in particular being?
I think that like I said, if they get the right coach in, not much should change. Now, they won't just run through the SWAC like they've been doing. They could. It just depends on who they bring in. And I really, put it in the hands of Ashley Robinson, who has done a wonderful job as athletic director at Jackson State. I trust him to bring in the right coach, and I think Jackson State will maintain. I don't think they'll go back to the James Bell era. That was the one coach that really just destroyed Jackson State football. When I think of his name, man, I just get mad.
I thought you might have got a little upset with Harold Jackson too, man.
Well, Harold was. I think the game had passed Harold by then. I think it passed him by. But Harold was a good guy. He was a good person. He was a good man, and I liked him as a person, a man. I don't think coaching had passed him by, but the guy that destroyed Jackson State football, and JSU was still trying to get past that, was James Bell. And with Dion bringing JSU back up to prominence, if you want to call it that, I think JSU can maintain if Ashley brings in the right guy, and I think he will.
So then, you think the James Bell curse was worse than the Comedy curse?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, Mike.
In what manner? Can you go into detail?
Okay. Let me first start by saying this. James Bell threw away all the Jackson State footage, film, everything. So when I came over to Jackson State from the NBC affiliate in Jackson, the first thing I asked for was, where's the library of tapes? Because I was going to document it and put it in chronological order. They said, oh, Coach Bell threw it away. I'm like, what? Who let him do it?
Wow.
So he said he wanted to start his own tradition. So he brought in players that couldn't play. He brought in players that could play at a D3 or NIA school. He made Jackson State a JUCO. He was not a good judge of talent. He couldn't coach. He couldn't. I mean, he was terrible. Now, Kamaji did come in. He brought some good players in. Kamaji really was a good judge of talent. He brought in some good players, and I think Jackson State got back to winning when Kamaji was there. But James Bell, Mike, by far the worst coach in the United States of America.
Oh my goodness, man, oh man, that is classic, man. That is absolutely classic. Well, I know that JSU will rise, and believe it or not, man, the SWAC is going to help them rise again. But it's going to be okay, man. We shall overcome this. And Rob, man, I thank you so much for helping give some insights on things that have taken place. And here's another final question that I would have for you. I know you kind of hit on it a little bit. Dion says he wants to come back and coach. Will JSU Nation show up and support the Celebration Bowl if that's the case?
Mike, I don't think he should coach. I really don't. You got your job at Colorado. You introduced Shador as your new quarterback. You said you're bringing Travis Hunter with you. Okay, that era is over. You go stay with Colorado, and Jackson State will figure it out. I don't think he needs to come coach, man. And then in his press conference, he's on there saying, there's no crime here in Colorado. Didn't they have mass shootings in Colorado? When John Benet Ramsey killed in Boulder, Colorado? Come on, man. You just
Right.
Coach Prime, you just stay in Colorado and let Jackson State figure it out.
Well, do you feel that should be the case for Hunter and Shador?
I think so, man. I think so. Because if he doesn't coach, he's not gonna let Shador play. I'll tell you that right now. So, and Hunter is already on the what is it? Instagram saying he's coming to Colorado. So just let those guys play and let Jackson State do the best they can against North Carolina Central.
Wow. Well, as they say, we shall pick up the pieces and move forward. Rob, can you let the people know, man, how they can get a chance to listen and watch some of the work that you do? You do an awesome job at JSU, my man.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Everything that I shoot and report on from Jackson State Athletics is on JacksonStateTigers.com. Also, GoJSUTigers.com. And, that's where I post everything. So that's how you can get it.
You guys are funny on your broadcast, too. You all have a little comedy hour working around in there, and it's pretty good and lively to see. But we sure appreciate you, man. He is Rob J. of JSU Tigers Athletics, and I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, reminding you guys you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Don't forget the website, obnradio.com. And for the latest episodes of The Mike Prince Show, just ask your smart device to play the latest episode of The Mike Prince Show. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.